Yeshua gets up and says, peace, be still, shalom. Be still. Stop, is what he said, and the winds obeyed him. They did. The water was supposed to, when something gets in the water, a body jumps in the water, it's supposed to sink. But Yeshua, because he has been given all power of heaven and earth, the water no longer obeys the laws of physics that we know. It obeys the word that he says. That's what all creation does. This is what we were created to walk in. This is the lifestyle because we're connected to the Father. You only get that in relationship with the Father. If there's nothing in us, when we don't obey the world or the enemy, but we obey the Father. He said, nothing good will be withheld from you. Whatsoever you ask in faith believing, you shall have. Whatsoever you ask when you pray, in faith believing, trusting in him, you shall have whatsoever you ask. If you say to this mountain, be thou removed, be thou cast into the sea, and you believe within it in your heart, you shall have what you ask. He said, it's not a small thing when you begin to trust him. There's some things that we need. There's some things that he's set before us that we're supposed to speak life into. We've been given a problem, if I can say it this way, and we're supposed to solve it according to his word and how he guides us in it. It's not about my emotions. It's not about what the world has done. I have zero excuse because he is the creator of heaven and earth. He creates the sun, moon, and stars, and he calls them by name. He knows where they all exist. He breathes out universes. The whole universe, galaxies, solar system, everything, it comes from him. Who am I to question him? Who am I to tell him to do things my way? But when I trust in him, this is where he brings all things back to its original design. We call it healing. We call it made whole. This is why he sets these things before us, because he's thinking not strange, these fiery trials that you go through, for it is for the maturing, the perfecting of the holy ones. Because you've been called out. The greater the battle, the greater the calling. Because the more stress you've been put in your life, the greater the calling, because you have a greater influence. Stay in there. Don't quit. Don't drop out. Stay in there. Get your sword, the word out. Stand on his word. When you've done all there is to stand, stand therefore. And he said, he shall bring it to pass, because everything has a season. Everything has a appointed time. This too shall pass, because everything that he sets before us, he's already planned it from the foundations of the world. That what he wants us to do is trust him in every situation. He wants us to trust him whether I get what I want, when I want it or not. I still trust him. Though he slay me, yet shall I serve him. Because I'm on the cross being pierced with rocks. Father, remember me. I trust in him. It means, no matter, regardless of the situation, this is what faith is. This is trusting in him. Regardless of what our kids are doing, regardless of what's going on in the world, I'm going to trust him, because that's the battle. That's where the true battle is. And if I throw in the towel, I just yielded to the enemy. And I'm telling you, according to what I know, and I know some of you feel the same way, I'm not giving him an inch. He's done too much. I've seen too much of what he wants. I've seen too much of what he does to families. I'm not going to give in. I'm going to stand on what Yahweh says. They can laugh at me. They can call me what they want. But as for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. How many say amen? Because he has done too much. He has brought us too far to turn back now. There's nothing in this world worth trading for what he has to offer. Nothing. It is embarrassing to even consider it. For what he has set before man, half is not entered into the mind of man of what Yahweh has in store for him. And he is not a liar. He does not deceive. He does not put on airs. He is the word. He is the truth and the life. Without him, there's no one that can come into the Father. You cannot enter into that connection with the Father unless you acknowledge Yeshua. But in him are all the promises, and they are yea and amen. Let's give him a shout of praise this morning.